Can you hear me, Nathan?
Hello?
Yeah,
I can
then
hear
say
you.
1, 2, 3, 4, and you should be able to hear yourself in your headset.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Hey, man, back there, Nathan.
Good.
All right, I'm going to take you through a pre-flight from my Pittsfield ride, so down to Lewiston. So I just want to walk you through this, show you something different. The idea is take sectional, draw a line on it, and we went from Pittsfield down to Lewiston. Here I've got a highlighter mark on it, taking us down across this sectional, 52 miles down to Lewiston, Auburn. And so we reverse it here, and we try to find some points along the way, milestones, pilotage. So we come to Clinton, about 10-15 minutes up, and then we cross over Waterville, city of Waterville. We're going to be looking for the airport. Keep on moving down the sectional, and at the end of this long lake, we're going to try to find the city of Belgrade, and then move on another 10 to 15 minutes to Winthrop in between all those lakes. So we're going to try to line up through those lakes, and then up ahead we should be able to see the city of Lewiston at that point. And then we know beyond the city of Lewiston is the airport, a couple miles. So what we do is write this down on a flight planner, take the true course, the altitude, direction, velocity, adjust for the wind correction, and get your true heading. So we have the departure of 2B7, 2 Bravo 7 for Pittsfield, and then to Lewiston. And then we'll make some adjustments on the compass. So we take a plotter, find the distance with a plotter, and get your angle. You see here we have an angle of 222 degrees. That's a true course. So we're going to put in 222 for the true course. Now to get us started, I'm going to fly at altitude of 2,500 feet. And then we can check our weather to get our direction of the wind. I do it on my droid. I use Quick Weather. It's a great little program. I got all the airports in there, so I'm going to select Waterville. It's the closest one with the weather. You saw there it has in the METAR has got 330 degrees out of the basically northwest at 9 knots. So we'll take that information and we'll pump it in to the flight plan. From here, we can I can jot down the temperature also. So the temperature was 9 degrees Celsius. So we'll write that down. I plan on flying out at 110 knots, so we'll put that in. And now we have to figure out our wind correction angle. Trickier. What we're going to use is an E6B flight computer, the whiz wheel, as some call it. And we're going to adjust. And on the back side, it does all the formulas on the front, and on the back side does the wind correction. And this is what we'll use to get our wind correction angle. So we put in our wind direction of 330 degrees, and then we're going to mark on the circle how many, what the speed of the wind was. So we're going to go up, and you can start anywhere and end anywhere, just as long as it's from the circle 9 knots. So now we have 9 knots. Now we're going to move over and put in our true course. Our true course was the 222 degrees, and that is going to obviously move our 9 knot wind in a different direction. It's going to move it to the east, to the right of our line. We're going to adjust put the wind speed one on the speed we expect to go, and then we'll see that that's 112. The grommet moves up to 112, so we get a little bit of a tailwind. And this is 4 degrees. Mark over 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 degrees over to the right for a crosswind. 112 knot speed we're going to be flying. So we can write that wind correction. It was to the right, so we're going to add it, and we're going to add that 4 to the 4 degrees of angle, and then we'll also add, because we're a west variation, we're going to add the 17 degrees, and of course we'll add that to our original true course of 222 degrees. We'll add that up and we'll get 243. The magnetic heading deviation inside our cockpit, the compass is a little off because of different surroundings, so let's say it's 2 degrees, and so we'll add that, and it'll be 245. Now we're going to move that 245 over to the compass heading. So now we have our compass heading, which we're actually going to line up on our directional gyro. And we got our distance off our plotter of 52 miles. And now we have our compass heading and our distance. We know our ground speed to be 112 now with a little bit of a tailwind, and then as we fly it, we'll calculate it for the actual. So here we'll punch it in and put the 112, and we'll find out how long it's expected to take us. We know it's 52 miles at 112 knots, and so that looks like it's going to be about 27 minutes. So we'll write in 27 minutes for our leg, and we'll add that to whatever our starting time was. So if we had a starting time of 10 o'clock, we'll add that 27 minutes to the 10 o'clock. So at 10:27 we should be in Lewiston. Now we can figure out how much fuel we're going to use, and so our rate of fuel burn is 7, so we'll put 7 gallons per hour in. Now we know we're going out for 27 minutes, and then we'll push up, and it looks like it's going to be about 3.2 gallons of fuel. You know it's not 32, so therefore you just drop the decimal. So we have 3.2 gallons of fuel to use down there. So the other part of the flight planner we put in is the information about each airport, and we can get this information from the airport directory and facility directory. And here's Auburn Lewiston, 288. There is the elevation. We'll punch that in. The runway is 4 and 22, and it's 5,000 feet long, so plenty of space to land a little Cessna. And we get all our other information here that we might need to know about the airport. The communications is an important one, of course, as that's the 122.8. And I can't go without having one gadget, so I did pick up a electronic flight computer, and that's kind of handy too. Kind of check your work with it. One other thing I haven't showed you guys is the flight log. I just started my new one. I had the student one, so here's my brand new hardcover one. I expect to have pretty much a lifetime. And we just fill that in after each flight, and so there's some of our night Lewiston one that I filled in. April, a Cessna, my ID number, and the route, duration, aircraft, type of instrument you might have been flying, and how many landings you had, flight training received, cross country, night, fill those in, solo, a little bit of solo time there, and then whatever remarks you might have. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed.